Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another Agrippa Maxenius video. This time we are playing the newest expansion slash DLC for Scourge of War Waterloo, and that is WAVRE. This is going to be an exceptional game. I already played parts of the actual full battle. We're going to try a smaller version of the battle this time, but if you guys do want to see the actual full battle, first of all, you better hit that like button on this video, and you better prepare for about a 3 to 4 hour battle. It's going to be massive, as you can imagine. So I think we're going to take the French brigade over here. We've started the attack on Wavre, of course, and with heavy losses. Now, we've got to clear the Scourge area of the Prussian forces and hold the location until reinforcements reach us. This is not going to be easy, guys. It's just a tiny part of the battle. Of course, the full battle would be here at 4 p.m., but this is still a very large part of the battle itself, and let's see how we do against the enemy. Wish us luck, my friends, and vive l'Empire. Our men are ready for a fight, boys and girls. They are definitely in formation, ready to go here and deal some serious damage to the enemy. Of course, we're waiting for that courier to arrive. He's always here at a good time, not usually. Here we go. General Van Damme's troops have been fighting hard inside Wavre since this afternoon without success. A dispatch from Marshal Soult pressed Marshal Grouchy to defeat the Prussians before us and march on Brussels. Marshal Grouchy and General Gerard want your brigade to take the river crossing here at Scourge without waiting for the arrival of the rest of the corps. The 9th Léger is sufficient for the task. Take these battalions, cross the river, defeat the Prussian forces facing you, and hold Scourge against any counterattacks. Seems simple enough, right? No, far from it. So, first thing I'm going to do is, of course, set our men up across the river. I don't necessarily want to get up close and personal, really. I just want to set them up over here on a pretty straightforward formation. In fact, we'll even move back a little bit and start moving forward. And here we go, boys and girls. We are beginning the march. Now, I'm not going to cross that river because the victory point is on the other side. So if I could start getting shots on the Prussians without having to cross, that's exactly what I'm going to do. As far as I know, we only are commanding this forward brigade. We're not commanding the brigade behind us. As I might be wrong, but nope, I'm correct. We're not commanding the brigade behind us. And we're not commanding the artillery. This is being commanded by another general. So we need to lead these guys into battle. Of course, right now, just 3 divisions, which I'm hoping can hold their line against the enemy. Now, I see some massed enemy artillery over there, which is making me very uncomfortable. And it looks like no matter what we do, we're going to have to cross this bridge to get to the other side. So we're going to go ahead and hope that that occurs without too many losses. I want to see where all these guys are going. I might even move them individually. Yeah, it's looking rough. But we want to make sure to start getting some decent positioning on the enemy. So we're going to go ahead and move here. I'm actually going to move these guys individually. In fact, I want this guy here. As soon as we get into range of those cannons, we're in trouble. So our general is sending us on our marshal, I should say, is sending us on a nasty mission. No doubt about it, and I hope that these reinforcements are going to help, but they don't seem to be moving much right now. And like I said, I'm fairly certain that we need to cross that bridge to make it across. If we can cross through the water, that would be exceptional. We can probably, save a lot of men, save a lot of men's lives specifically, but I'm not sure that's going to be the case. But as you can see, our men are marching into battle, and it is going to be a bloody, bloody affair. So there we go, guys. There you have it. We'll get back when the fighting commences. Already, the enemy is firing those cannons at us, but our men are not in range yet. They will be very, very soon. Alright, we've got to give it to these men crossing under heavy artillery fire. The General is behind them, and I'm glad he's in a safe position because we can already see those shell shots exploding all around us. And I'm thinking that the men are going to try to cross via the river. They might be able to make it across, but I'm fairly sure that they're going to have to get over that bridge. And all those men crossing that bridge at once are going to be just perfect shot for the enemy cannons. Right now they're aimed away from us, if you can see those cannons off in the distance. So they're not too much of a threat right now, but I can assure you, as soon as they see our men crossing that bridge, they are going to be firing away. So we must get into range of these Prussian units and try to cause as much damage as possible. Let's see if our guys have the willpower to cross this river. And yes, it is a river. I mean, it's not exactly, doesn't look very deep from here, but we can be certain that it is not easy to walk through this area. So there could be a stop, a pause, and the men might have to take different positions. If not, I'm actually going to take this unit and I'm going to put him over here. So let's see if we can do that. I want to see if we can sort of change his location. But no, already some of the men are having to go across the bridge. Yup, sure enough, look at that. They must cross the bridge. This is sort of a just necessity, having to get across there. Some of them are already going. We could try to get these guys up, but I don't think they're going to move there. Let's see. Oh, no, they will have to cross the bridge. Some of them are making it across, but not the entire brigade, of course. They're going to have to take the long way around. That's just the way it is here at Wavre. The bridges are an extremely important part of the battle, so I understand why this is a necessity, of course. Here we go. Got some men getting across here. It's going to take a while, but we can certainly make it work. So let's go ahead. We are probably going to have to face these cannons head on. There's no way around it. A little confused, Mena? Yeah, I don't blame you. Alright, across the bridge they go, guys, and I knew that was going to be an essential part of the battle. A lot of our guys are moving in quick formation, so I'm going to go ahead, take the rest of them over here, and move in quick formation as well. But I want these guys right there on the other side. We can already see a massive Prussian force. We're just trying to get as many shots off as possible, try to damage the enemy, and obviously take them out of this location. But a lot of our men are already taking nasty hits. And here we go. We're getting up. We're lining up with our men. C'est très joli. It's beautiful, as they say in French. But, oh, that's what I was worried about, having to get smashed by those units. So I want to put these guys right there. They are going to be getting some shots on the cannons. But, of course, they're not just going to be getting shots on the cannons. They're going to be getting shots on these Prussian regiments. So we can already see our men taking pot shots at them. We could go for some volley fire here. And, obviously, this way they would hold their fire until they have the perfect visibility on the enemy. And then fire all at once, doing some major damage here to the Prussians. I think that's probably going to be what we're going to do. And now we'll let them let fly. Boom! Look at that. Already a bunch of Prussians dropping in front of us. Of course, those cannons on our right side are going to be a pain in the ass. Wait a minute. Sorry about that terrible positioning by me. We want to go ahead and set that up again, even if it means having to run into formation. We don't have time to wait, boys. You've got a perfect shot on the enemy. They're going to, of course, face us too. And I'm going to go back to the volley fire. It worked out pretty well the first time. And we've got some of our men already lined up here, firing at the enemy. Of course, a lot of our men are getting hit by those cannons. There's very little we can do about that right now. As you can see, the rest of our men are crossing here. Of course, trying to stop the Prussians. I'm going to try to send them up here. And it looks like we've got a dead Prussian general right there in front of us. Wonderful. That's going to hurt them a little bit. Maybe not as much as I expected. But our general's doing just fine back here. We still need to get these boys up. We can't leave them back here just hanging out to dry. Nonetheless, the amount of enemies moving up on us right now is pretty incredible. Come on, boys. Where are you? Oh, my goodness. They're getting smashed. Alright, our boys are already firing. They've got some pretty good positions up here on top of the hill. A little bit of high ground for them. But that Prussian force is huge. It really is. So, despite the massive artillery fire, I hope we can come out on this on top. There we go, boys. Move up. That's it. Alright, we're going to keep them back here. And let's see what's going on this left flank. There's few ways to approach this area properly, but I am keeping the volley fire on. Let's go ahead, go back to volley fire. Because we're hitting a lot of the enemy here. You can see all those Prussians downed right now. Our men are definitely holding out pretty well. The 9th M Légère. And we'll let them go ahead and boom! A nice, nasty volley. We'll get back on that volley fire. Some of them are moving back a little cautiously, of course. Who can blame them, of course, in this situation? But these guys are not doing their part. We need them to move forward. And I think we're going to face the enemy over here. If we can get them to get off this damn bridge. They're kind of doing their own thing right now. But if we can get them to face the Prussians here, I think we can actually be in a pretty decent position. Come on, boys. Let's do it. Sometimes you have to force them a little bit. C'est très bien. Alright, these men are pulling back. Too much firepower there from the enemy. And if only we had just a few more willing to fight, willing to get up close and personal, we'd be okay. Of course, our general is still hanging out here. Actually, our colonel, excuse me. I'm liking this formation quite a lot. Now I'm going to go ahead and wheel them to the right, wheel them to the right again, wheel them to the right one more time. We're getting a pretty good position. Remember, we're just holding one side of the bridge here. So we've got a lot of work to do. But now that we're getting multiple directions of fire, we stand a chance at doing pretty well here in this battle. It looks like they're also moving their cannons back. The cannons are still a threat, don't get me wrong, but at least now we're putting some hurt on the enemy. And that's exactly what I want to see. Keep it up, men. Waste these Prussian dogs. Maybe we need to get a volley shot. So let's go ahead and go for the volley fire. Have them hold their shots for a little while, just a tiny bit. Have some patience, men. And only fire when absolutely ready. Alright, let's let them have it. Enough men have reloaded. Boom! Oh! You can see right there, look at those Prussians just stacking up. We need to do more of that and less of the running away part. That part's not as fun. Of course, I'm trying to see if we can maybe stack. Yes, our men can easily, if they just reverse, about face essentially. And again, it's been a while since I've played. But they may be able to actually fire from this location. So let's go ahead and get them into an about-face formation. I want to see if we still haven't gotten control of these men. No, we don't. Oh, no, we don't have control of Grouchy's men, but Grouchy's men are getting ready to move forward. So if they can help us here, that's going to be unbelievable. As you can see, we definitely don't have control of Grouchy's men, but now we can at least fire at those Prussians across the way. I don't like the positioning of our general. I feel like he's in a very dangerous spot, but we're going to try to move him behind our line here. Fire, boys. There we go. The cannons have retreated. It is your day now, men. I love this position. This is what I wanted to have initially, but of course the enemy was across the river, so it wasn't really possible. Now it is, and now we seem to have the upper hand here against the enemy. You can actually see a lot of their bodies there in the river, unable to do much. We're still getting some great shots on them, and eventually these Prussians are going to have to take on off. Of course, we're trying to take that location back there, and we don't have a lot of time to do it. Just 30 minutes to be able to secure that area. Will it lead to an eventual charge? It might. It might have to lead to an eventual charge where we try and just force ourselves on the enemy. Sounded a little bit non-kosher, but what can I say? Force ourselves on them. And let's see. We can't control the cannons, unfortunately. We certainly can't control Marshal de Camp, Guy Baltiot de Pully. And there we go. We've got some Prussians running away. Unfortunately, in a nasty turn of events, our boys ran away too. So much death on both sides of the battlefield that they really couldn't take it anymore. Of course, I'm leaving these guys on this side of the battlefield. They're getting great shots. The general is going to move back a little bit too, but these guys on the right flank are also doing very well, firing at those retreating Prussians. And of course, that dead Prussian general is reminding them that we are pretty good shots. Although I must admit that our men on this side have taken a beating as well. The 9th Légion Battalion. We're still getting shots on the enemy skirmishers. In fact, we could detach some skirmishers if we wanted, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Can't unsplit, not a split unit. Damn it. Well, we thought about it, we considered it, and it was not possible. It does look, though, that the General de Camp Gerard is watching us pretty closely. I don't know what's going on over here. Might be a little glitch. Oh, we got a pause. Did we pause? There we go. Sorry, guys. We paused. Apologies. I don't know how I hit the damn pause button. But not a problem. So now we are unpaused. I'm going to try to get them back across the river. We're not going to have them run. We're just going to have them just calmly walk. And while we're still getting shots with this unit, I'm not going to force them across either. But we do need to get across the river here and keep bringing the fight to the enemy. I think right now just forcing the enemy skirmishers to be hit is probably a starting point to victory. One of them just fell there. We've got to keep getting those lucky shots. I'm going to go ahead and give them some volley fire, even at distance like this, because they are pretty much at significant distance. I think some volley fire would do us good. So let's let them wait a little bit. And let them have it. Wonderful. See what you're trying to do, guys, but you need to move across. And I'll actually have them move by column. This is probably easier in getting across a bridge. Do the same with these guys. Though these guys are just going to force forward. And again, in many parts of this battle, you do need to use a certain formation to get across the bridge. I'm hoping it's not the case here. They are in column formation. They could displace and go back to their regular formation, which is, I think, what they're doing. So let's try to move them over here by column. Still getting some wonderful shots over here on the right. And, of course, the enemy cavalry, or, excuse me, the enemy artillery, I did it again, damn it, is moved back significantly. But we've got to keep moving forward. Remember, that's the area we need to take. And to do that, we need to cross this river. There's no way around it. So we're going to go ahead and move forward, boys. It seems strange because some of our units seem to be able to cross the river. You just need to kind of keep forcing them. Maybe not. Maybe I was wrong. That's sort of a natural barrier, just not letting the men forward. It's almost like there's a building in the way. But if we do it, I mean, they're moving very slowly, of course, despite being on a running stance. But they can make it across, I think. I certainly hope so. What about our boys on the right? They're doing great. Could actually get a little bit closer if we wanted, but the skirmishers are giving us hell as is. Let's go ahead, though, move forward. And yes, we can definitely get across that river. So that's good news. As for these men, I want them to cross any way they can. So if you need to go that way, do what you got to do, but just make it across. We can't wait for you all day. There we go. Now they're getting into more column formation. All right, what a disgrace. General Gerard has been seriously wounded trying to drive your men to attack the Prussian troops harder. We need to take revenge. Order the 11th Legion to join you and drive the Prussians away from the river crossing. So now, I believe we get the command of these boys over here. Yes, we do. Yes, we certainly do. So we're going to move them, of course, across the river as well, immediately. But since they don't have a general to command them, we're going to have to command them ourselves. And that's fine with me. Beautiful. Look at that. That is looking great, especially with the arrival of these men. We may even be able to take this position from the enemy. I can certainly hope so. These men are just now making it across, of course. It's not an easy crossing, but they must be pushed forward. Move forward even more. Come on, boys. Bring the fight to the enemy. We're going to have them run. These guys are definitely struggling with that bridge movement. It's one frustrating part of this part of the Battle of Wavre, and the Battle of Wavre in general, the fact that they had to cross those bridges to be able to actually engage the Prussians. Come on, boys. You can move farther than that. I know you can. There we go, spreading it out. I like that they've stopped here. Well, actually I don't, because they don't have a... They now have a view on the enemy. There we go. Let's just have them flank to the right. Not flank to the right, but move to the right a little bit. And as you can see, we're fighting at distance here. This is definitely distance. The enemy is quite far away, but we're still able to see them with these units. But we want to get this guy in a better position. So I might try to force him to go over here on the enemy flank, if he can do it. Here we go. Don't get caught up on that bridge now. We're getting closer. There we go, boys. A little bit more. Until we see some crosshairs over the enemy, then we know that we've spotted them. So far, I'm not seeing any crosshairs at all. You can see these guys have got a perfect shot, so I'm going to move them over here at a quick pace. While they do that, we'll move these guys into their old position. We just got to keep coaxing them little by little. Now they can spot the enemy. So we're going to go ahead and wheel right again, wheel right again, until we're in a perfect location. There we go, and it looks like our men over here are doing a great job on those Prussians to the left. And we've got our men over here on the right flank getting great shots on those Prussians on their left flank, our right flank, of course. And we've got more men advancing, guys. They're here to try and get revenge for their lost general. We've got to make sure to make this revenge worthwhile, of course. Let's make sure that our men break through the Prussians. I can already see a ton of them falling here. If we can get them to totally retreat, we're going to be able to take this location easily. So that's, of course, the goal, is to try and force the enemy back under any circumstances whatsoever, even if it means maybe a charge across this particular river. Right now, though, I think that's pretty risky, and ooh! Looks like they brought their artillery a little bit closer. Might be easier just to force them across the bridge because they'll get there faster. Just like these boys, as you can see. Crossing the bridge is a necessary evil. Yes, they can cross by water like these guys, but it's going to be a little slower for them to get across the water, apparently. So they're probably going to go for the bridge as well. These guys are trying to get over there, but not going the way we want them to. We really want to force them. Look at those Prussians changing formation. The battle continues to rage. The enemy still holds the other end of that bridge. There's no doubt about it. This is definitely looking a lot more like a stalemate. All those bodies are Prussian bodies, and I'm hoping we can keep that up. Although, of course, over here, these men are getting whittled down very quickly by the enemy. Both sides are doing their fair share of damage. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. See, these guys are finally getting across that river. We've been waiting for you. It's about damn time you made it. And we want you to move up as well. So get up there now. Look at that. We've got some Prussians retreating. We've got some Prussians retreating, guys. The first retreat we've seen today. Those Prussians want no more of this fight. They've had it. Their general's trying to rally them back to the fight. We're going to have to charge across there, across that bridge, if we want to get a victory. And that part in itself is going to be a tough part. No doubt about it. Okay, we're getting some serious firepower here on the enemy. Let's see if we can just force these guys up this way. Be in a column formation. Make way for the Grande Armée. Well, a very tiny portion of it, of course. So So I'm going to see maybe the used roads technique would also work. Let's try that. So we'll try the used roads technique. Move forward, boys. There we go, some more Prussians retreating. I like the way this is starting to look. But you guys know how this usually works. If you guys enjoyed this battle, make sure to let me know. We'll get to part 2 of it and see if we can end the battle in a victory. Obviously, hold the location from the enemy troops and ultimately win this particular part of the Battle of Wavre. Hope you guys are enjoying Wavre. If you are, make sure to let me know in the comments down below, and make sure to let me know you want to see more. I certainly do, but now we've got to move across, and we can see some of our men have had it with the fighting. They did their jobs, though. They forced the Prussians back, and now we need to send the rest of our men across to finish the job. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and have an awesome, awesome day.